Responsibility, Walking for Rights, Hearing the Voices.
The 1963 Birmingham Children's Crusade.
By Hallie Wilmot,
Dan Studding,
Allie Watkins,
and Allie Studding.
Imagine walking down the street, being spit on, and not being able to fight back.
Imagine having to submit oneself as the lesser because of skin color.
Imagine not being able to use the facilities because this person is better than I am.
Imagine hoping for the one day to overcome all of this.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday.
Birmingham, Alabama, 1963. Arguably the most racist, segregated, and hate-filled city in all of America, became the site of a 9-day demonstration of hope by its children. Efforts towards racial equality in the South have been at a standstill. Birmingham used all possible means to keep public facilities segregated: bathrooms, diners, movie theaters, you name it.
In reaction to the segregation, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to Birmingham in hopes of correcting these wrongs. The fight for African American civil rights became a responsibility of the children.
Upon his arrival in April 1963, Dr. King started protesting with local adults who shared an equal passion for change, a balancing of rights. These demonstrators were protesting without a permit. Birmingham city officials jailed many of these protesters, including Dr. King. This reaction by Birmingham city officials discouraged adults from protesting. They thought,
now why should I be protesting if I'm just going to get thrown in jail? And so they stopped fighting for their rights. Adults had jobs to keep and children to feed. Going to jail would throw all of this away.
During Dr. King's stay in Birmingham City Jail, he wrote a letter in response to the negative views from Birmingham city officials.
My dear fellow clergymen, while confined here in the Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement, causing my present activities unwise and untimely. I am here because injustice is here. It is unfortunate that the demonstrations are taking place here in Birmingham, but it is even more unfortunate that the city's white power structure left the Negro community with no alternative.
During Dr. King's stay in jail, a prominent member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, James Bevel, came up with a controversial idea that would shock the nation: the use of children to move forward with the civil rights campaign in Birmingham. One way to recruit students to join the fight were public mass meetings.
Good evening. My name is James Bevel, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I'm here in Birmingham. We know many of your moms and dads cannot participate in this fight for rights because their responsibility is to keep you safe, fed, and in line. And you know they cannot do that from jail. So that is where y'all come into play. We need as many of you as we can, boys, girls, kids, teens, to meet down at the 16th Street Baptist Church this Thursday, May 2nd, 1963. The police, they might hit you, they might spit on you, they will have dogs and billy clubs, but the only response ever is no response, or a prayerful response. Faith is very much a part of what we're doing here.
Another way to recruit students to join the fight was simply going door to door and asking for anyone to help. Sorry to bother you at such an hour, but ma'am, my name is Dorothy Cotton, and I'm the Education Director of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the group that's come here to help you folks find the rights that you so rightfully deserve. And I was wondering if you had any children who'd be willing to come down this Thursday, May 2nd.
Yes, I have a daughter, but I'm afraid I'm not going to let my child be a part of this mess. I've heard what you're doing with all the children. How you using to fight a battle that ain't theirs to be fought.
But ma'am, please, if children step up, America will see that a change needs to be made, a better life to be living, and if you want change, of course the bottom line is that the folks for whom the change is meant must be involved in it.
Listen, I marched last month and all it did for me was lose my job. I'm done talking.
But ma'am,
Good
please,
night.
if you would just understand.
I said good night.
Thank you for your time. Hey, oh my goodness, child, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. My name's Audrey Hendricks, and I want to go to jail.
Excuse me?
I know you just talked to my mama, and I know she don't want me marching, but all the kids at school are talking about it, and I've been thinking about it and everything, and I want to go.
Well, honey, I just spoke with your mama. She said that she wasn't too comfortable.
I know she just said that, and I know she's scared, but I feel it's my responsibility. I want to be one of those children that they say one day helped achieve equality for all.
Well, if you feel so strongly, I'll see you this Thursday.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is James Bevel, and we would like to welcome all children protesters to this momentous occasion, May 2nd, 1963, our D-Day.
I'm tuning the radio to WENN, and we will wait for the song All Men Created by God to begin to play. And that is your cue that signifies that the march is ready to begin.
All right, kids, get with your partners. We're going to be sending you in groups of about 50.
Your destination? City Hall.
And so they gathered. Around 800 young demonstrators, like myself, assembled at the 16th Street Baptist Church, May 2nd, 1963. Organizers recorded the vital statistics of the children: name, age, parents' name and address in case of emergency.
You hear that, kids? There's the song, and that's your cue. Remember all we have told you. Prayerful response is our only response.
God be with you.
Audrey, I'm scared. Well, I'm not, and you shouldn't be either. What are they going to do to us anyway? We're just kids. Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Our group's next. We'll walk hand in hand.
The first day of the marches brought little to no physical confrontation between the children and Birmingham city officials. However, the second day of the marches, known as Double D-Day, brought about a different reaction. City Commissioner of Public Safety, Bull Connor, calls for the use of attack dogs and fire hoses to be used to try to discourage protesters from marching.
Hey, you two, get on the damn ground!
Stop it!
Hey, you all right, boys?
I was bit in the arm twice by a dog.
They just kept hitting me,
And I couldn't get on that bus fast enough.
the hoses. They were spraying, and I didn't know what to do.
I was spit on by an adult.
We did what we were told.
We were prayerful. But was it worth it?
Yes, don't you guys see we're getting our rights?
Well, I don't think it's our responsibility. I mean, it's not worth getting treated like this.
Yeah, look at all these kids. We've been in here for a few days now. There's so many of us that they're sending us to the fairgrounds.
But listen, I bet there's thousands of us in here, and that's not a bad thing. We're proving to America that we have taken responsibility just by being here, and I would do it all again. I want to go to any diner, any theater, any school. I want freedom. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. After 2 days of negotiations between members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and Birmingham city officials, the marches ended on May 10, 1963. The Children's Crusade had lasted a total of 9 days. Imagine Birmingham desegregating lunch counters, fitting rooms, dining rooms, and drinking fountains 90 days after the children were released from jail, May 11, 1963.
Imagine victory in Birmingham and the courage of the Children's Crusade inspiring desegregation protests across America.
Imagine 10 weeks after Birmingham, statisticians count 758 protests in 186 cities, resulting in 14,733 arrests.
Imagine direct action demonstrations erupting in community after community. The United States began to wake from an age of segregation through widespread nonviolent measures.
Birmingham stood at a threshold for future rights and equality, including
The 1964 Civil Rights Act, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson.
Dispelling the Jim Crow laws, which deeply permeated Southern society. Equal job opportunities.
the election of the first African-American president of the United States, to provide equal rights for all.
Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we have overcome to